Tested.
Hey, what is going on, Freedom Fighters? Welcome back to another Break the Chains Media live stream. Today is Tyranny Response Tuesday. We are hanging out. It is September 23rd, 2025, Tuesday night here in the Mile High city of Denver, Colorado. Welcome, welcome, one and all, and I appreciate you all joining me on this adventure as we exist in this universe. It is a little late, but it's kind of, it's kind of fitting. We're entering fall. It's a little bit more gloomy out. We've got some things to talk about as far as the gloom goes, the existential crisis and the dread that is facing us every single day, but we persevere nonetheless. Thank you all for hanging out and joining us. We're going to get in some really good, I think there's going to be some good stuff to talk about here today. We are going to be reaching out, having the conversation about the whole breakdown of what Trump was talking about, the UN. I mean, like, this is kind of like it all happened today, and I'm sure there's going to be still more to come when we're talking about Trump at the UN and how he responds to the UN. But him just showing up, talking about the escalator not working and the teleprompter coming down, and all of these things weren't working. The UN they gave me all these crappy things. It's hilarious. So we're going to talk about Trump, and he actually had some really good sound bites, really good bits of conversation to be had at the UN. Anything that comes out of his mouth anymore, though, I do take it still with not just a grain of salt, but like a healthy serving of salt, just because his track record is not very good. Like right now, like we're not in a very good place. As far as Donald Trump and his current administration and what I would like to see accomplished in the administration and what we are dealing with the administration, and he can say a lot of things. He can talk a big game on at the UN, but at the same time, if it's not there, then it's not there. So I got something. Hold on, let me double check here. What is going on with my YouTube? Why is YouTube not showing up here? Hold on. Pause game. Yeah, it is happening. For some reason, it just wasn't a thing. Oh, well, it's all working. Everything's good. Everything's great. So with that being said, folks, appreciate you all joining me. We're going to talk about the UN with Trump. We're also going to talk about Ryan Routh. Ryan Routh, the second Trump assassin, was convicted today, or sentenced to his guilty plea. However, in response to his sentencing, he literally went off the rails and he started stabbing himself in the neck with a pen, allegedly. So we're going to talk about that. And it's actually very interesting that this whole Ryan Routh assassin story has just been completely glossed over. The fact that he was an agent working with Ukraine, ties to Ukraine, extremely left-leaning, particularly in light of the Charlie Kirk assassination, we are now seeing and witnessing the current media apparatus spin this story about how right-wing extremists are the problem, when in reality, more often than not, we are seeing these radical, deranged, mentally unstable leftists that are the ones causing the violence and causing the crime, or causing these calls to violence and these dangerous acts. So we're going to get into the whole Ryan Routh sentencing and how his daughter was acting as well, and very strange stuff. Some wire transfers were going on, a lot of stuff to go into with the Ryan Routh situation, and then we're going to wrap up with, you know what we might do is we might start with the Do Better Denver drama that has actually just unfolded today. As far as anyone following Do Better Denver is essentially, for lack of better terms, Do Better Denver is like a libs of TikTok for Denver specifically, and it's not, and it gears specifically towards homelessness, crime, vandalism, decay, the inner rot that happens in the city of Denver. So it was a window into the world of the falling decline of the city of Denver based on liberal Democratic policies. And unfortunately, that account that was posting, that did a lot of good work and was actually being lambasted by the Denver Post, that account has been shut down by the original account owner. It was an anonymous account. But we're going to get into all that because there was a new account that came up and some drama. So we're going to talk about that. We'll open up the live stream with that. But if this is the first time joining Break the Chains Media, I appreciate you all stopping in, but welcome to Break the Chains Media. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. We do live streams Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. Tyranny Response Tuesdays on Tuesdays. We are Change Wednesdays on Wednesday. You can find me at breakthechains.media is the website. Landing page right here, breakthechains.media. Articles and social media links and Realm Walker hot sauce. If you're interested in some hot sauce, you can go pick up a bottle. It's all handmade, homegrown here in Colorado. So that's how you support the channel. That's how you support Break the Chains Media. Breakthechains.media is the website, but you can also find me at Break the Chains M on X, as well as Break the Chains Media on Instagram. So we are going to jump right into it, folks. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Hello. So it broke down today. So I originally, already, look at that, in real time. The account has been suspended. Wow. Breaking news. Do Better Denver, the parody account, the troll account, the scam account, where it's spelled correctly, Do Better Denver spelled correctly, is the scam account that tried to pick up and tried to ride on the coattails of the original Do Better Denver. Do Better Denver, DNVR, is the original one. Earlier today, this person decided to close their account, but what they did, and I wish we could pull up, but they had thousands of followers, tens of thousands of followers, videos of homeless people, fentanyl overdosing, just crime and just decay and just rot in all of the Denver metro area. So, and just how Mayor Mike Johnson and how Denver policies have destroyed the city. The original account for Do Better Denver has been deactivated. So from Ryan Schuling, this is not the original Do Better account. I've received confirmation directly from the original person who ran the account that the original account was deactivated on her own accord. She no longer wants to be involved in the public political arena at all. Okay? So this is all happening in real time, folks. It was just a little flash in the pan drama today, but we had screenshots, and we were trying to anyone who works in the Colorado media scene, anyone who does reporting in Colorado area, we were definitely trying to not only support, because we weren't sure in the initial time, we weren't really sure if it was deactivated because of censorship, because of the whole Denver Post story drama and the doxing that was trying to take place. That was a few weeks back. Denver Post was trying to dox the original account owner of Do Better Denver. So we thought that maybe that happened, so that they started a new account. And this new account, the verbiage was very strange, and the way that they spoke to the people who used to network and used to work with the Do Better Denver page, something was fishy. The way that they were talking and the way everything was going, it just didn't seem right. So we're not gonna hang too much on it, because obviously this is a flash in the pan story. But you can see a screenshot here. Someone reaching out to the phony Do Better Denver page. Okay, hi there. I'm just wondering who this is, who's behind this account, because I know for sure this isn't the team behind the original account. I don't hate it, I just don't trust it yet. Can you verify? Which is extremely reasonable for someone running an anonymous account. Okay, and then the response says everything you need to know. You know for sure this isn't the team behind the original account? I've always been the same woman, never been a, quote, team. I've always accepted submissions from other users showcase how much Denver has decayed. But that doesn't mean they're a part of a team behind Do Better Denver. And the only people who would believe such are the same people who would try to dox my contributors to the Denver Post and pretend they were behind this account as much as I am. Then I've spoken via email with her this morning, and I have a phone call scheduled for this afternoon, so the jig is up. You've spoken with her via email. The email that was hacked, that led to my accounts from being hacked, right. Have fun speaking with the hackers. Just the way that conversation unraveled was very shady. Yeah. So, they blocked this person right after. Okay? Doesn't look good. This is all, like I said, quick flash in the pan. But this is a. I took the screen. Actually, let me really quick. We are going to jump back over here because this is what we actually need to do. Oh, we're going to talk about these. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the good stuff. But I did screenshot. Let me just post it into my Telegram very quickly. I'm going to send it over. Let's see here. Sending it over now from my phone. Screenshot. Yes, this is a screenshot. And then, yeah, that's all I needed. Just that. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, this is a screenshot of. All right, so this was from the phony Do Better Denver account. I did screenshot it. Pinned as a 4:10 today, 4:10 Mountain Time. Hey, the gig is up. Can I just say that I love communism and trans women are real women? Also, homeless people deserve our empathy. Congrats on the 900 idiots who believe this, and we're excited to get to doxing. So they called themselves out. So the whole post. This whole thing was a troll. Okay? So be aware, social media, be aware, be aware these people, these anonymous accounts who try to take advantage of hot topic conversations. But yeah, so that was there and this is now. So moving right along, Do Better Denver has been thwarted. Do Better DNVR is the original gangster. That is the one who posts all of the great footage, and I'm sure that they deactivated their Instagram account as well, but maybe. We'll see. But excellent. Guess what? Now, all that happens now is that you're going to spawn 10, 100 more people to post this kind of information to Denver regarding Denver, regarding what happens here in Colorado. So you might take one of us down, but 10 more rise up. So that's what happened with Charlie Kirk. That's what happened with Alex Jones. So many different people that have been either doxxed, harassed, ridiculed, or unfortunately assassinated. More will rise to the ranks for truth, for liberty, for freedom, for honesty, for pressing the conversation further, for keeping our politicians accountable. That is what we are going to do here in Denver, in Colorado. Moving right along. Trump has been lighting up the mic at the UN summit today. Let's listen to what he had to say here. It's a 17-second clip, but talking about religious liberty, including the most persecuted religion on the planet. Let's take a listen.
Let us protect religious liberty, including for the most persecuted religion on the planet today. It's called Christianity.
Boom!
And let us safeguard our sovereignty and cherish qualities that have made each of our nations so special, incredible, and extraordinary. Let us protect.
Amazing. I mean, what more do you need to know? That arguably Christianity is one of the most persecuted religions on the planet. And I know we're gonna get the people in the chat saying, but what about Israel? What about Israel? What about the Jews? Okay, that's a whole conversation. That is a whole conversation. But let's be honest. Every single westernized country has actively persecuted and basically called against Christianity in generality, saying, we can't mix Christianity with our government. We can't have Christian leaders and these Christian mega churches and everyone has their own opinion on all of this stuff. But I would argue that Christianity is one of the most persecuted religions on the planet. I'm gonna take it like that. Moving right along. So this is the beginning, right? So in the beginning, as As Trump arrived to the United Nations, the escalator stopped working the moment he stepped on it, and then the teleprompter stopped working the moment he got up to the podium to speak. Is this a coincidence? Probably not, but let's take a look. Escalator's working just fine, but as soon as he gets on it, it literally stops the moment he gets on it.
President Trump, Schumer.
And they're just like, all right, I guess it's temporarily stairs. All the old Mitch Hedberg joke. Escalator broken. Temporarily stairs. For all those who remember and know Mitch Hedberg. Oh, interesting that there's a it's just as soon as he gets on it, right? And then we'll watch this one here.
Very much appreciated. And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter.
He kept do you see he kept glancing at it? Watch. He kept glancing at it to try to see if he could.
Very much appreciated.
Watch. He looks once. He looks twice.
And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working.
Everyone laughs.
I feel very happy to be up here with you, nevertheless. And that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
Making a joke, making light of it. But that's what he did. Teflon Don just riding it out. Teflon Don just going for it, right? Making it happen, regardless, right?
Wars dealt with the leaders of each and every
These are just
one
highlight clips of the
these
UN
countries and
meetings.
never even
You can check it
received
all
a
out.
phone call. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both
She's got a great ass.
We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations: a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter.
I'll tell you what.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This guy just makes it happen. He makes it work. But let's get into the real meat and potatoes of some of the topics of his speech, because this is what we're talking about, right? From Eric Daughtry. President Trump just went berserk at the United Nations, funding mass migration, thus destroying Western civilization. This is a priority concern that is being failed to be addressed. Here's the thing, folks. The United Nations, it is part of their plan. Their plan is to have uncontrolled mass influx of migration into Western nations. That is the plan. That's been their plan for the last 15, 20 years. Okay? The United Nations funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. Let's just listen. Let's just listen, folks.
Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the number 1 political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that? On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in. 25 million altogether over the 4 years. So provided food of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them.
Well, no.
And not finance them.
We'll get into it.
In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel
This
halfway
is
around the
all
world,
off the riff.
trample
he's
our
probably got
borders,
papers in
violate
front
our
of him.
sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net.
I mean, where's the argument? Where's the lie?
Not only is the
Right?
UN not solving
Let me see. I did have. Let me see if I can find it. Fuck. So there's a whole speech there. I did have something pulled up. Where was it? Hold, please. Let me just do this because I did have a. Was it from 0 Hour? Was it from 0 Hour though? Yeah, no, this one here. Yeah, replacement migration, untamed truth. It's probably multiple different people's fault, but I've seen this one, right? Yeah. So, yep, right here, 2 seconds from Untamed Truth on X. You can pull this up, but this is from the UN official UN.org documents. Replacement migration. I have the PDF pulled up right here. But it's, Department of Economic and Social Affairs, UN Nation Secretariat. It's got full content. It's got all here. Okay, and this is we'll read the highlighted bit that he's got here. But 8 countries and 2 regions, which are treated as individual countries, have been selected to be in this study. All of them are relatively large countries that have below replacement fertility. The countries and regions are France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, the Russian Federation, United Kingdom, United States, Europe, and the European Union. Through the technique of population projection, calculations are made of the amount of replacement migration that would be necessary for each of the 8 countries and 2 regions to offset the expected declines in the size of the total population of working age population, as well as to offset the overall aging of the population. Okay? So, with reading that post and then bringing the receipts, got the PDF document right here. Okay, it's a how many pages? How many pages do you guess this is? I'm gonna guess it's like 180, 177. Wow, I'm pretty fucking good. I didn't even see that there was numbers on the side. I just guessed 177 pages about the UN's plans for replacement migration. I will post a picture of this. It'll all be posted on my X, I assure you. Okay? Replacement migration. Is it a solution to declining and aging populations? As per the UN, it sure sounds like it. Okay? Preface. It's 180 fucking pages, folks. You can spend all afternoon. You can spend a whole fucking week looking at this shit. Okay? It's all in different languages. I mean, come on, folks. Wow. So they have different scenarios. Building upon these estimates of production, the present study considers 5 different scenarios with regarding the international migration streams needed to achieve specific population objectives, outcomes for the 8 countries and 2 regions mentioned above. The 5 scenarios are, you got the different scenarios. Medium variant of projection of the United Nations, medium variant of 1998 revision. Scenario computes the assumed migration required to maintain the size of population. The highest level would reach the absence of migration after 1995. These are older documents. This is a long listed plan of what they intended to do, how they intended to do it. So this was written March 2000, okay? 21 of March 2000. This was 25 years ago. This is a UN document that they are speaking directly about what Donald Trump just spoke on regarding the influx of migration, and you can see it happening right now, okay? This is all fucking planned, okay? On top of that, let's look at this. We've got the climate change narrative, the climate change hoax, okay, as Donald Trump calls it. I've been calling out the climate change hoax for a long time, even before Trump was ever in office. The Green New Deal, the Green New Scam, climate change narrative, whether it's talking about solar panels, wind farms, you name it, it's all a guise from an Agenda 2030 perspective to limit and control the population because we're being altruistic and preserving and protecting the planet. We have to stop eating meat and stop growing and have cattle and farms and ranches because it's harming the ecosystem and it's harming the environment. This is how the narrative is, right? You can't have the things you want to have. You can't live the life you want that we can easily attain. We can easily achieve. Very much achievable goals to continue to living the life we live. But they're flipping the script on you to make it seem like it is you are the problem, humans are the problem, humans are the issue, humans are the disease, and we have to stop everything and eat bugs and live in the pod. This is what they want, right?
Europe,
Take a listen.
I love Europe. I love the people of Europe, and I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice. You want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage. They must take control strongly and immediately of the unmitigated immigration disaster and the fake energy catastrophe.
Fake energy catastrophe.
Before it's too late. The carbon footprint is
Oh,
a hoax.
yeah. Carbon tax credit, carbon footprint. Companies can just essentially pay more money to burn more carbon. And then where does that money go? What does that money go for? It's all fucking, arguably, my opinion, it's all fucking laundering.
Made up by people with evil intentions, and they're heading down a path of total destruction. You know, the carbon footprint
total
was
destruction.
a big thing a few years ago. I remember hearing about the carbon footprint, and then President Obama would get into Air Force One, a massive Boeing 747, and not a new one,
Fly
an
around.
old one with old engines that spew everything into the atmosphere. He'd talk about the carbon footprint, we must do so. Then he'd get in and he'd fly from Washington to Hawaii to play a round of golf. And then he'd get...
I mean, Trump kind of does the same thing, though, too, right? Let's be honest. Like, I'll call a spade a spade. I'll see it what it is, right? Everyone, the bigger issue, and Trump tried to make it personal about Obama, but the bigger issue is the scamming of the scam that is the carbon tax credit, the carbon footprint, this offset. Companies can pay more money or less money, or developing nations don't even have to do it. China, India, these developing nations can produce 10 times, 50 times, 100 times the amount. But only developed nations like Germany, France, United Kingdom, America, Japan, these are the countries that have to really watch what we do with our climate carbon footprint and our green energy, right? It's only developed nations. The developing nations, don't worry about China. And why is China still considered a developing nation? Why, this is a bigger conversation to be had. But China and India are one of the largest contributors for carbon or climate change, greenhouse gas emissions, this whole narrative about green energy. They're the biggest culprits. America does the most. America is actually one of the leading innovators when it comes to clean coal technology and harnessing clean energy, actually effective clean energy. I'm a proponent of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy, reasonably sized nuclear reactors can definitely facilitate a lot of energy production and an energy grid sustainability here in America. If we do it right, we have the ability to achieve that. But they always focus on wind farms and solar panels and lithium-ion batteries on your fucking Teslas and the whole electric car thing. Okay, you're charging an electric car that costs rare earth materials to build and manufacture, to then drive around, okay, and then to be plugged, you have to plug that car into the power grid. The power grid, which is operated and ran by natural gas or coal burning power plants, okay. I mean, we're funneling back into this. I argue against the fact that rip apart rare earth mines. We strip mine rare earth materials way too much to consistently push out these green energy things, right? It's ridiculous. All right, then let's wrap up here. What do we got? We have we have a couple more here. Let me see. What else do I got? Is that it? Oh yeah, we got the Ryan Routh thing we got to talk about too. Yeah, let's listen to this one.
The entire globalist concept of asking successful industrialized nations to inflict pain on themselves and radically disrupt their entire societies must be rejected completely and totally, and it must be immediate. That's why in America I withdrew from the fake Paris Climate Accord, where, by the way, America was paying so much more than every country. Others weren't paying. China didn't have to pay until 2030. Russia was given an old standard that was easy to meet, a 1990 standard. For the United States, we're supposed to pay like $1 trillion. And I said, this is another scam. The fact is, the United States has been taken advantage of by the world for many, many years, but not any longer, as you probably noticed. I unleashed massive energy production and signed historic executive orders to hunt for oil, but we don't have to do much hunting because we have the most oil of any nation anywhere, oil and gas in the world. And if you add coal,
we have a means to do it.
We have the most of any nation in the world. Clean, I call it clean, beautiful coal. You can do things today with coal that you couldn't have done 10 years ago, 15 years. So I have a little standing order in the White House. Never use the word coal, only use the words clean, beautiful coal. Sounds much better, doesn't it? But we stand ready to provide any country with abundant, affordable energy supplies if you need them, when most of you do. We're proudly exporting energy all over the world. We're now the largest exporter. The entire
amazing. I mean, but see, this is the thing, right? How do we blend in? How do we blend through merging an older industrial style infrastructure to cleaner, more refined, more advanced energy types of production, right? Because you can't just flick a switch and magically it's all said and done. Meanwhile, you're like he said, China doesn't have any standards. India doesn't have any standards. Russia was set on 1990 standards. So then you're going to hold certain countries to a certain standards, but other countries to a different standards. Absolutely, Colin. Appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in, my friend. No, and this is the thing, is making ourselves energy independent so we do not have to rely on other countries importing and exporting oil or gas or coal. Okay? Oh, what was that? Why can't I think of it? Oh my gosh, it blows my mind. But there was a pipeline that the past president just decided to kill and cancel. It was a fucking Keystone XL pipeline, right? What happened to that? We would have had a much better handle of our industrial, of our economic, of our energy production here in America if we kept our Keystone XL pipeline. But someone had to kill that bill, right? Someone had to kill that plan. Biden. I wasn't, I point the finger at Biden, no different than people point the finger at Trump, but we all know that there's a larger agenda at play, right? We already know that there's a larger weaponization of the fact that the globalists, the powers that be, the power structure, these people that Trump is talking to right here, the people that are trying to control the narrative, they do not want America to be independent on anything anymore. If America retained its independence on oil or on energy production, it would be able to do a lot more in terms of its military, in terms of its infrastructure, in terms of its housing, in terms of its manufacturing. There are so many things that come down the line when we start talking about getting yourself independent on fuel and oil production, right? Oh, I'm doing great, Colin. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you. Exactly. Biden was just the front. He was just the PR guy. And arguably, Trump is doing a lot more. He's a lot more actively in the arena. But, and this is how I've always felt for a long time, presidents are always just the PR man, right? But I really genuinely feel that Trump actually tries to do something. Trump actually is trying to shift and change this narrative so that way America doesn't have to be under the boot of globalism. I mean, this is what we're talking about, right? You saw the spin that Hick and Polis have done on X recently regarding the green energy and clean energy, or in general. I know that Hickenlooper and Polis are absolutely in the gutter right now on X. I mean, well, nine times out of 10, every single post that they post, whether it's the PR guy or their press secretary, whoever's running their accounts, because it's not Polis, but half the time I think they just post this shit just to get the trolls like myself and others in the game, right? And get the clickbait, right? Get all that clickbait. But no, I genuinely feel that there is a reason and a validity to what Trump is trying to say here. Well, what's funny, and this is following up with what I originally said, to mark Trump's arrival, UN staff members have joked that they may turn off the escalators and elevators and simply tell them that they ran out of money, so he has to walk up the stairs. So this was a report. The Times reported on Sunday. The Times reported this on Sunday. And just coincidentally, the escalators didn't work today when Trump showed up. So Caroline Leavitt said, if someone at the UN intentionally stopped the escalators as the president and first lady were stepping on, they need to be fired and investigated immediately. It was not a coincidence, folks. And just because, we got to follow up with this. The Times reported on it as a opinion piece or a joking piece. Look, the escalator stops as soon as they get on.
President Trump, Schumer.
Not a joke. These people are sick. These people are demented. They do this because they hate. They act like this because they hate. Yeah. Hickenlooper and Polis are trash. I hate them. And like sometimes I don't want to be the one that feeds like they obviously feed the trolls when they post that stuff on X, but there are some posts that I see on with Polis posts or whatever, I'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, that checks out, but more often than not it's all garbage, it's all trash. But all right, folks, if you appreciate this live stream, if you appreciate the conversation, hit the thumbs up button. Share this with your friends and family. Share this with anyone who's interested, anyone who want to hear me blab on about my certain takes and opinions. Share this with your friends. Anyone on YouTube, I also stream on Rumble, and I stream on X as well. You can find me on X at Break the Chains M. You can find me on Instagram at Break the Chains Media. You can find me my website at breakthechains.media. That is the landing page if you are interested. But we are going to jump into the next conversation here. Ryan Routh found guilty plotting to assassinate Donald Trump. That is interesting because this guy, his whole situation went completely under the rug. The fact that it was 6 weeks after the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination with that creep, that little freakazoid that was on the rooftop that conveniently was washed away with a hose within hours of him being 86th from the event. There are so many unanswered questions with the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. There are so many unanswered questions with the Ryan Routh person here that we're going to bring up now. And not only that, in light of the whole Charlie Kirk assassination, we have potentially I'm going to actually pull it up right now because it is important. Let me see here. Let me see. What is it? We're gonna look up. Pretty sure he posted on this one. Where was it? Was it his? Was it this account or was it his personal account? It might have been his personal account. But Kash Patel. No, this is Kash Patel. Yeah, this is it. He posted from... Is it? Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. Sorry. Because he admitted, as FBI director, he admitted he was going to open up investigations with into Charlie Kirk, into the alternate or other theories regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Where is it? I had the post right here. No. Most transparent FBI ever. So, Patel updates Senate on Kirk assassination probe. So there's going to be a whole probe that goes into a larger search regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination attempt. And this all comes together, folks, right? Because you're starting to see it from a larger perspective. Once we start separating ourselves from emotion and we start realizing that there's a larger thing at play here. Let me pull it up because I didn't realize that I was not showing you. It's right here. So there is still lots of unanswered question when it comes to Kash Patel and the FBI's response to the FBI's investigation into Charlie Kirk, into his assassination. So there's a lot that needs to still be had and still be said regarding what the FBI is actually going to discuss and going to talk about. But where is it? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, for real though. Let's look more into the Ryan Routh thing because that's really what we're talking about here, okay? So yeah, Ryan Routh, he actually tried to stab himself in the neck after his conviction. See? So it was a federal report, or it was a federal court case. So someone had to draw a picture very quickly draw it. Breaking: would-be Trump assassin Ryan Routh tries to stab himself in the neck with a pen after guilty verdict read in court. From Fox News. Yep. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Pull it up here. Bop. Let's read into it, folks.
Let's go to Dana Marie McNichol, who's live outside the courthouse. And Dana Marie, do we know the timing of the reading of the verdict at this point?
Yeah, Colin, transparent FBI, maybe more than the past, but definitely being dodgy. 100% agree. I do not trust the FBI at all. Let's say I give them 10% credibility. 10% credibility. Just the fact that they are trying to putting Dan Bongino and Kash Patel in charge of the FBI.
His
all
children,
that was doing.
the daughter and
all that was giving me a little bit of a breathing room, saying, oh, okay, so there's a couple guys who I can potentially have a little bit of credibility with, and kind of I understand where they are. So, but to dig the FBI out of the multi-decade hole that they've dug themselves in as the most shadiest, corrupt, and not trustworthy institution in the United States, second to the CIA, these they have a lot of work ahead of them, and they're not doing very good at proving themselves to being honest, to say the least. Let's keep watching.
The son just witnessed their father clearly take a pen and try to stab himself in the neck.
That's his daughter.
What they witnessed obviously was very
hold on. Let me.
I just have a lot of breaking news in terms of the sequence of what happened right after the verdict was read. Now, it is quite shocking. As the verdict was read, it appeared to our producers inside the courtroom that Routh tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen. That's what it appeared to look like. Then 4 marshals dragged him out of the courtroom, took his coat off. They then shackled him at the waist and ankles. and then they brought him back into the courtroom. So again, this just in from our producers. As the verdict was being read, Routh tried to hurt himself in the neck with a pen. Now we just saw that emotional reaction from that daughter, and now we know exactly why. So when Routh was brought back into the courtroom, that's when her daughter stood up, started yelling and screaming. She said to her father, "Don't do anything. I'm going to get you out of here." This is what our producers are telling us just into the newsroom. She also screamed many expletives, and that's when we saw her run out of the courtroom. The video that we were seeing just moments ago of her not wanting to speak with the media, her evading the media, and then running off camera, as you see there. So just very, very shocking news. Our producers are still inside learning, hoping to get more, but after he appeared to hurt himself, he was then brought in by those marshals, John. So we're tracking this breaking news very, very closely and looking to see what comes next.
All right. For a man to contend.
What did that guy even say? I bet you what a goon. Okay, yeah. So more into this though. Interesting enough. Let's check on the left today. Good Lord. No. What is with the verbal explosion? Yeah. So exactly. So the daughter. I'm going to actually look into this. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to flip over here. Go to this. We're going to do Ryan Routh daughter wire transfer. Let's see here. So this was today. That was okay. So check this out. I'm pull up these two articles here. We do this in real time, folks. This is what we do. We do this Break the Chains Media in real time. We just pull up information and we just go about it. We just go into it. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Let me make sure that. Yeah. Great. Are we ready? We're ready. Okay. This was 4 days ago. So just so everyone's aware, this court case was happening over the course of the last week. So the whole Charlie Kirk thing was obviously a huge, important, and shocking story. Everyone was talking about that for days, but no one realized that through the last almost week and a half, Ryan Routh's trial has been happening in Florida right now. Okay. So I'm gonna power through this. Prosecutors on Friday presented the final witness to the federal trial of Ryan Routh, accused of attempting to assassinate President Donald Trump in his West Palm Beach golf club on September 15, 2024. FBI Supervisory Special Agent Kimberly McGreevy testified about financial records, phone data, license plate readers, and surveillance evidence that tracked Routh's movements from Hawaii to Florida ahead of the assassination attempt. McGreevy also read aloud handwritten note Routh allegedly left in a box at Lazaro's Plaza home, Greensboro, North Carolina. This is the note that Ryan Routh wrote, allegedly. "Dear world, this was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I'm sorry I failed you. It's up to you now to complete the job." Unquote. From Ryan Routh's written letter. The letter also mentioned a $150,000 reward. Interesting. McGreevy testified the bank transfers showed Routh had the money to pay that sum. Okay? And look at this. Are we ready? Jurors were shown evidence of accounts that shared by Routh, his daughter Sarah, and his son Adam, including a March 15, 2024 deposit of $162,000 into Sarah's account, followed the same day by a $160,000 transfer to another account in her name. Interesting how that works, isn't it? McGreevy also displayed an alleged Venmo transaction moving money from Sarah's account to Ryan Routh. Okay? So maybe this has something to do with his daughter screaming out in a being completely irrational. Because where is this money coming from? Who built this money up? Who transferred this money? Okay? Prosecutors also presented a phone taken of Ruth's burner phone, showed the map of the 14th hole. This is all plain as day. He had this whole setup. This guy was all set up, ready to go, okay? We don't care about you. Ryan Routh's daughter curses at media as she runs from courthouse. Are you ready? Look at her storming away like Wacky Inflatable Tube Man. Just her flailing arms. Losing her shit.
Please be alone. You don't have any respect. Common respect, guys.
Common respect, guys.
Yeah, not in person. You didn't hurt anybody. He's a good man.
I mean, I guess she's pissed. Sure, she's pissed. But what else would you expect? His
Go away. Please.
he tried to assassinate a president. Did she think he was gonna get out? All right. Enough of her. But I just thought it was interesting that there was a wire transfer to her account, and it was tied in with him. And then I did want to pull up. Where was it? Here. Not that. Not that. Okay, bye. We're gonna catch you later, alligator. Here. So, where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. Oh, yeah. I wanted to bring this up, too. His son. Orrin Routh has been sentenced to 7 years for having possession of indecent child material. What kind of family is this, folks? I don't know. Okay? The leftist assassin found guilty. Ryan Routh was the Democrat. Repeated the Democrat slogan, democracy is on the ballot. Donated $100 plus to Act Blue multiple times. Voted the March 2024 Democrat primary. Said that Trump would make America slave again. Supported Bernie in 2020. Announced a bounty on Trump. Biden-Harris stickers on his car. Folks, the left is mentally broken. The left is deranged. Look at how ill this man looks, okay? Unhealthy. Mentally and physically. He looks not okay. But you know what's more shocking, and you know what's more dangerous, and this is what we need to discuss, is the fact that he was connected and trying to recruit people for the Ukrainian military. Okay? He used to stand here, he used to go in international, work with different people with the Ukraine, trying to get people to fund for the Ukrainian military. Okay? He was part of an Azov battalion ad in 2022. Okay? All of this smells like hot butt butter. Okay? None of this is okay. And this is all under the rug, mind you, because we were all distracted with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. And I'm not trying to take away that we're supposed to be focused on this when Charlie Kirk. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying so many things happen at once all the time because this is how they operate. This is how the globalists operate, right? This is what their intention is, to overwhelm, to bombard you end over end with information overload. So you start losing what to focus on, okay? This is Ryan Routh's donations to Act Blue, all the different times when he was in Hawaii, okay? It's all straightforward. Do I really need to even keep pulling it up? I mean, it's all here. It's all very vivid, okay? Just a reminder on the day Ryan Routh was sentenced with a guilty verdict. Ryan Routh was the man who tried to kill Trump before the election, deeply connected with Ukraine's military, and they completely buried this. Do not let it go. This, the fact that this whole thing just stinks, and it's just being completely sidelined. And not only that, the Matthew Crooks character is also equally being sidelined, and he was 86th on the grounds that day, and then they washed his body. They washed the roof off with a hose. All of this stinks to high hell. And then to top it off, it was the trifecta with Charlie Kirk, with actually, unfortunately, losing his life. And we still have questions about Charlie Kirk. I don't know about you. I don't know about anyone else. But I genuinely believe that there is more to come out with Charlie Kirk's. There's a larger network of people that was working with, not only with Charlie Kirk, but or not with Charlie Kirk, but working with that alleged assailant, the alleged suspect of Charlie Kirk. But there was a larger network of people who had foreknowledge, who was aware, and potentially, possibly, a different shooter position. This is all in the ether right now. It's all in. I don't want to be claiming conspiracy and tinfoil hat mode, but we have to be aware, because this is prime. This is fertile prime, like USDA Wagyu steak when it comes to cover up and when it comes to alphabet agencies trying to make sure that not all the information is out. This is 100% exactly how it happens. And in today's modern era, in today's modern technology, and the immediacy of information, and the cross-referencing of all the things that we can do here, we have a due diligence, we have a responsibility to make sure we hold these people accountable. We call them out if we call them out on the lies and deception, making sure of it. Okay, folks, I'm going to be wrapping up here. It's been about an hour now, but I wanted to wrap up with this ridiculousness. Okay. With this ridiculousness. I cannot imagine the level of TDS these pregnant women are suffering through, and I feel bad for their children. These, after RFK Jr. announced the whole Tylenol thing and the potential links to autism, with meta trials from Hopkins, from Hopkins University, from Harvard University, from multiple different metadata from different trials across the country, from many different hospitals and different universities, and it's just saying there is an increased risk of autism that possibly has a link to Tylenol use in pregnant women. This is just open information that said, and honestly, Tylenol and any acetaminophen and any sort of over-the-counter NSAIDs are not good in high dosage and consistent use, period, whether you're pregnant or not. But we all should know this. But these people are on another level. They're on another fucking level because they're sitting here actively doing it in protest. They're doing it in protest against Trump and against RFK. And it sickens me that these people just do it for the spite. Disgusting. Oh. Look at how gross they are. And I bet you they're all on fucking Medicaid. What do you bet that they're all on fucking Medicaid, right? Folks, it is a wild world we live in, okay? Oh, man, Harry. Poor Harry. F's in the chat for Harry. Yeah, folks. This is just the timeline. This is the world we live in. We have to be vigilant. We have to be aware. We have to see what actually is happening right now, day in, day out, what we're actually achieving in this world. The truth, the lies, the deception, everything is here and everything is happening now. And, I am going to be bouncing back and forth because the Charlie Kirk conversation is still a very fresh topic, and I don't want to consistently be harping on this, but I was thinking about making a video regarding specifically these new alleged theories that are out right now, discussing a second angle or potential new information, and this is why the whole Kash Patel thing is saying we're going to investigate any and all leads, and even the ones that might sound ridiculous, whether it's the guy that was like readjusting his hand and like having like the little secret hand, the palm gun or whatever it was. I think that one's I think the palm gun scenario is ridiculous, but a lot of moving parts. This is a modern day, the fact that we've actually had to have conversations about 3 different assassination attempts, or 3 different assassinations and one successful, unfortunately, in the last year and a half. It hasn't even been a year. No, it's been about a year and a half since the Butler, Pennsylvania, and then from Butler, Pennsylvania to Charlie Kirk's death. It's been about a year and a half, I would say. But the fact that we have to have these conversations and the media cycle is churning it out so fast. Not to mention we have all this conversation about the UN. We have the conversations about our daily lives. We're going into the winter months. We're going into winter season. We need to keep our mental health. We need to keep our mental health high. We need to keep our spiritual health high, physical health high. This is what we want. This is what we want to achieve. I am going to try to do a little bit more topics regarding those aspects of whether it be physical health, mental health, trying to keep that seasonal depression mode out of our mindset, because especially dealing with the world we're living in now, getting stuck down the rabbit holes and rabbit holes within rabbit holes within, it's like inception of rabbit holes. It gets so heavy sometimes, and I want to make sure everyone's okay out there. I want to make sure the world is still good, folks, and that we have to make sure that that we can be in a world of darkness. The light can be completely out, right? The light can be completely dark, but it just takes one light. This light, the light next to the "Don't be gay" sign. That one light will light up the room, okay? You can still see through the darkness. The shining light, there's small fragments of light that can still retain our hope and retain our prosperity, retain our mindset into a higher realm, into a higher being, because that is what we need to do while staying focused on the here and now and on the immediate things. Like, understanding what Trump is doing at the UN is very important and the conversations being had, but if those words don't materialize into real, actual, tangible actions by the Trump administration, what does it even mean? Okay? Keeping people accountable, holding politicians accountable, keeping your friends and family and yourself healthy and safe, that is priority number one. Folks, we are going to jump over into another stream here. I appreciate everyone being a part of this, being a part of this journey that we all are all in together. Let me try to click on this. Okay, great. We're doing that. We're going to go over here, and then we're going to do a raid, because we are raiding the Beanie compound right now. Folks, I appreciate you joining Break the Chains Media. Hit that follow button. Hit that share button. Thank you so much for joining me on a Tyranny Response Tuesday. We will see you tomorrow for We Are Change Wednesday. And as always, folks, I love you. I appreciate you. Fight for freedom and never give up.
Real estate. No, yeah, this is totally
Leave the Jets in New Jersey.
definitely